There's something very special happening here. Really, really love working here. The people really care for each other.
Sometimes you just kind of need that little extra. Somebody cares for you, and when you're having a hard day, it's a great place to work. We're all caregivers.
The obligation that we all have to carry on the healing mission by telling others what we believe is right for the patients.
Physically, spiritually, mentally, it all goes into being well, and we're all one.
Healthcare is always a collaborative effort. It takes many with shared gifts, visions, personalities, you name it, but we do it together. When the sisters first came west, they were few in number. Teresa Moran, Stanislaus, but 4 other sisters came and joined them shortly after the opening of the hospital. So we had Sister Gabriel. She was doing the laundry. Sister Scholastica, she was in the kitchen. Monica was helping serve trays. She was doing work in the dining room, but when people were too ill to leave their rooms, there she was. I think probably with a happy smile and some food on the tray, you know, there to be of service. Teresa Moran, she was the nurse, and so she was at the bedside. She was the one who was there to give the medication. She was there to comfort them in their sorrow, to, in fact, be with them as they were dying. So collaboration, but collaboration with a heart, collaboration with a vision, collaboration knowing that they're carrying on a healing mission. And that's what we're doing today. That's what you're doing today. And so as we come to this time, we know that what began so small, 30-bed hospital, has expanded into so many different areas, and where we started with 8, we're in the thousands. But as always, it is you as an individual who make a world of difference. So, one of many, yes, but one who is vitally important. Thank you for being part of a heritage that certainly began with the sisters. But it's not theirs. It's a heritage that we embody today, that you express, and will continue to hand on to others. So, we carry on. And we do that because we know the mission that we share makes a world of difference.
We're all caregivers, and that at first was a little bit hard for some people, I think, to realize, because those of us that are kind of behind the scenes supporting the people that have direct patient care sometimes might not think of themselves that way. But when I do my job, I'm always thinking about the patient and supporting the people that have direct care. So when I'm at my computer, which I spend most of my day at, in the corner, nobody out there sees me, I still have that patient in mind. And also, we have a great team in the pharmacy. We all take care of each other, and I was thinking about this morning, that it's almost like, it's like being at a car race where you come into the, you know, the car drives into the pit crew, and we help we help the people that are out there with the patients to take care of them safely. So we really are all caregivers.
At least in the kitchen, we fulfill a lot of the patient's most basic needs, where we might not have direct contact with the patients all the time. We definitely have an impact on their day-to-day at the most basic level, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and I don't know who it all said it, but I remember hearing that food is love, and if you love people, you'll feed them. And that's just so true, because I know all the times that I've ever been in the hospital or something like that, my favorite time was when I was fed. So, because, you know, everything else is so unfamiliar, but we can bring them, you know, something that they're used to, something that makes them comfortable. And that's a great way to care for somebody, is making them feel warm and invited and comfortable again.
We work with our patient clients when they're going through a difficult situation, either illness or injury, possibly a planned surgery, but it's always a stressful time in their lives. We need to show that same compassion to their families or loved ones that are part of their care group. That's part of what patient and family-centered care is about.
Cleaning a stay room is going in the room, introducing yourself to the family or the patients there. A lot of them question like what you're doing and why you're doing it, and you just explain to them what you do, the high-touch areas.
Well, infection prevention is a really huge part of our job. Clean up after, messes and such. We make sure one of our daily things is to make sure we clean high-touch areas, the doors, the door handles, railings, tables, anything that the patients, their families, the nurses, the doctors, any way that germs can pass from one place to another, we are really on top of that.
So I'm the data warehouse manager, and so my team's work supports patient care in several ways. How are we helping to heal the patients? How are we delivering that compassionate care? How are we doing those things on a regular basis, relieving pain and suffering? And from a strictly IT perspective, it's COBOL programming, it's C# programming, it's ASP.NET. All of those things are very, very removed from the patient. But when we can tie the data that we get from the systems that all of the caregivers are putting in, and then feed that back to help with support, we feel like we're supporting the mission.
Those behind the scenes or behind the curtain functions that we do, I think rather than touch an individual patient, I think it really touches many patients at once. And so I think I'm still a caregiver, and I'm a caregiver at a different level, but nevertheless taking care of patients. So.
I don't feel like I'm an employee because this is not a job, this is my passion. We're all caregivers, and some are the nursing caregivers, some are the CNAs, some are the housekeeping caregivers. I mean, we just all get each other through the day. When I introduce myself to a patient before I interview them, I'll say, I'm Nancy, I'm one of the caregivers here, I'm the discharge planner. So we're using that with the patients, and they're starting to carry that out into the community. But I think it's right, it's what we've been all these years, we're caregivers.
I think one of the things I like about Peace Health is that they do strive to include spirituality in the whole care process. It's just recognize that spirituality is part of a person's well-being and their health, along with high-quality health care.
Passion for me is a very important attribute. You have to be passionate about what you do. You have to fully believe in what you do and want it to not only go out into the world through your patients and families, but to grow and to reach more people.
I believe that the relationship-centered attribute is crucial in moving forward with living out any of the attributes. It's like I share with the team that I work with. When something happens in that moment, what you have to preserve is that relationship, because you're going to work through whatever is facing you, but how you work through it leaves a lasting impression.
And I love the fact that we're more than just coworkers, that a lot of us are friends, that extends beyond just the workplace, that these people care about you as a person because they care about you outside of work as well, that they're not just there to get a job done, but they're there to get a job done and take your interest into mind too.
Everyone takes care of each other at Peace Health, and I really, really love working here. The people really care for each other, and the mission is very apparent from the top to the bottom. Everyone is here to take care of people.
The Peace Health mission, I think there's a human touch with the care here. that's provided. And I think a lot of people, we have a bridge program here that's been very helpful. A lot of people who have bad diseases that could have tremendous outcomes. And I'm not speaking from a morbidity standpoint, I'm talking about a mortality standpoint as well, where it could take their life, who receive care from us, charitable care, which is part of the Peace Health mission, where, again, private practice, the doors are closed to them. They just can't, they won't be seen.
A human form on that mission, it provides an embodiment, so it's not just a word or phrase. There's a human connection for what we do.
Peace Health is not a business. Peace Health is a living history, and I only need to think of our sisters to be reminded of how much heritage we have. Business waxes and wanes, and that has never happened in the history of Peace Health. We have been as sustainable as I'm guessing private industry could only hope to be, because we're built on something that has meaning. We're really built on a value and a purpose that goes much deeper than a bottom line or a financial goal. And that has been the same for generations and continues to be so. Currently, our organization is pouring in countless hours and dollars to really impress upon us as caregivers how important it is that we sustain that heritage. My reason for staying here is that Peace Health has the most investment of any organization that I know of in the most vulnerable clients, the people who have the very most to lose. And time again, they stand up and they do what's right and best for them.
Thanks for the opportunity to share a few thoughts with you. And as I do, I ask that you take just a step back, a deep breath, and think about this. That each of you is spark of the divine. What you do and how you do what you do is sacred work. You touch a patient, you touch a family member, you touch your colleague with care and compassion. Your hand extended in service, no matter whether it is cleaning a room, preparing a meal, administering medication, or being at the bedside of the dying. Your heart and your hands carry on a sacred work. That sacred work is work of that flame and fire of divine energy that flares up in you, that flares up in each of us as we continue what is a noble ministry. So I want you to really remember that no matter where you are, in a hallway, in the dining room, at the bedside, that what you do, why you do it, and how you do it makes a difference in the lives of those with whom you come in contact. It is a noble and sacred ministry, the ministry to carry on the healing mission of Jesus Christ. And that mission is carried on really only through your hands and through your hearts. So as you continue to be that presence within the halls of whatever facility you serve in, know that you carry on this ministry and it will not carry on without you. So thank you 1,000 times for who you are, for what you do, and how you do what you do. Continue to carry on that noble ministry. Be present with us and with those you serve. Thank you again.